Aries, welcome to Carol's Universe, tarot readings from the heart. Thanks ever so much for joining me on your August 2016 month ahead general tarot forecast. So if you'd like a reading with me, please go to the details below, www.carolsuniverse.co.uk. It's going across the screen as we speak, and you can also join me on Facebook. So for the month Aries, it's interesting. We have, as your general energy, the Page of Swords and the Nine of Swords. But it's not a bad reading at all. I just feel that you guys need to take the pressure off somewhere, Aries, because I feel that this is either... When you get a Page of Swords cards, as I always say with the tarot, the cards are ambiguous. They can mean so many... They've got so many meanings to them that it will make your head spin. And, you know... The success to being a tarot reader or a successful tarot reader is really to look at the cards, and it's really to say, okay, so what is the story telling me? Or what does my intuition tell me about where the cards are facing? Because I have over 30 decks of tarot cards, and I've just bought a really lovely deck. It's called Tarot Illuminati. It's brilliant. I like cards that are based on the premise of the Rider-Waite, because I've got over 30 decks, but I only use the Rider-Waite deck because the Rider-Waite for me is the best deck in terms of illustration and where I see things pointing. And I always try and kind of interconnect the cards in terms of where I see the cards pointing. And you've actually got a live spread reading coming up. It should be sitting right next to this video now. So after you've viewed this video, you can go and have a look at your live spread from August up to the end of the year. And I don't actually appear on that video, you only see the cards, okay? So that's how I'm going to be doing the readings from now on. General readings you see me, other readings you see the cards, because I enjoy connecting towards you guys in some capacity. But the Page of Swords means many things. It can mean, usually when you get the Page of Swords in reverse, it means malicious gossip, somebody who's quite nasty. But don't be fooled by this Page of Swords, because this Page of Swords stands in their own truth nevertheless. So sometimes when you get this card, it can still mean someone who's very direct. Because it's a page, it's young, and because it's swords, it's communications or ideas. So this person might not know how to communicate their ideas properly. Alright, so they might not have the mature outlook or the mature sensibilities of how to speak in a proper way. They'll just really sort of, bleh, you know, like word vomit type of thing. Just say what's immediately on their mind, which is why it's a page. So this is why sometimes when you get this card, it can mean difficult or nasty communication, or it can mean communication that you don't want, because the premise of the card is that it's a child and it's communication. It's a messenger. But when you get swords, because swords also represent struggles, it can mean difficult communication. So for some of you guys, you might be worrying about difficult communication, because we've got the Nine of Swords sitting here, and this means to worry, to feel anxious, to feel probably a little bit depressed, to feel a little bit worried. But usually when you get the Nine of Swords, sometimes it means that your worries are unfounded, or you're blowing everything out. So you're making a mountain into a molehill into a mountain, as it were, or you're blowing everything up out of proportion. Because a lot of the time with the Nine of Swords, it's where a lot of the fears and anxieties are completely in the head, and sometimes you don't have absolute proof. Sometimes this card can mean you're worried about something, especially if you get a card in front of it. So say, for example, you were to get the Nine of Swords made with the Fool in reverse. It might be that you're worrying over a stupid thing that you did, or you're worrying over a foolish thing that you did, or that you've taken a wrong turning, or you've made a wrong decision, or you're worrying about a delay, or you're worrying whether to move forward with something. So usually with the tarot, you'll look at a card and then you'll look at the second card and you'll think, okay, well, that's what it's about. I feel that your worry is around this Page of Swords. Now, this can be a person in your life. It can be a difficult individual, someone who is quite brash, someone who might be causing tensions, someone who might be causing difficulties. It might be that you're worrying over gossip or malicious words. But it can also be that you're worrying about news, because the Page of Swords, as I've said, is a messenger card. And usually when that card turns up, sometimes it means that you're waiting for a message to come, because the swords are to do with struggles, so they can indicate delays. And because it's a page, it would be a delay in a message. So sometimes it can be that you're worried about a message being received. or a message indeed that you've got to give. Because the Page of Swords, in essence, can be a card about new ideas, fresh approaches that we're taking to things. Okay, so suddenly when you get a page, if you look at this card, he's got a sword held right up to the sky, and what this is really saying is I'm ready to strike. Okay, remember, pages are the startup, so you interpret, when you look at cards, and try and interpret the word, what the words mean. So if a page is something young and it's new, and it means, and the sword is standing upright with this page and he's ready to strike, it might be that you're ready to go ahead with a new project or a new idea. But this card can also mean that you need information, because the Page of Swords is the card about the spy. So sometimes when you get a Page of Swords, this can represent somebody who is watching, or somebody who's trying to gather more intelligence or more intellect or more information around a particular situation. So it could be that you're worried about news that you're going to receive, or you're worried about news that you're waiting on, or you're worried about a difficult person, or you're worried about perhaps standing up for the truth, perhaps something that you need to do, perhaps something that you need to be brave about. The good thing with the Page of Swords is that he's brave, perhaps because he's stupid a lot of the time. Not stupid as in he's got a lot of ideas, but remember, because he's a page, he's young, so he doesn't really know. He's not a king. When you get a King of Swords, they are completely at the height of their own logic, okay? So the King of Swords really knows what he's doing, okay? That's why when you get a King of Swords, he can be a lawyer, he can be a barrister, he can be a policeman, he can work within the armed forces. This is a really intelligent human being, a King of Swords character is. But when you get a page, this is someone who's starting out. They're a student. They're learning about something. This is why when you get Page of Swords, Page of Pentacles, those two pages within the tarot would usually indicate somebody who's quite a student. Page of Cups, Page of Wands. Page of Wands is more the mischievous page of the tarot. So he's not so much into learning. He's the type of person that sees something, it's like, yeah, I like that, I'm just going to do it. So he will just go with something, just run for it, because it, excuse me, it makes good sense. The Page of Cups is far more, flirtatious and young and whimsical and romantic, and he's into the idea of romance and loveliness, and that shows his emotional immaturity. So when you get from the different suits, Page of Cups, emotional immaturity. Page of Swords, intellectual immaturity. Doesn't know how to convey his intellect because he doesn't have the sensibilities or the worldliness or the maturity to kind of express himself in a mature fashion. Page of Wands would be creative immaturity, probably. And the Page of Pentacles, perhaps financial immaturity, which is why the Page of Pentacles, when you get that card, sometimes is about being responsible with money, because it could be that you're acting very immaturely, or in a very immature fashion with the finances that you've got, and it's time to kind of step up and be a little bit more sensible with what you have. Do you understand where I'm coming from? So the Page of Swords, this can represent, I feel, for me, looking at you guys, Aries, Sun, Moon and Rising signs in the month of August 2016, that you are probably worried over a new idea or a new approach that you have to something, but you don't really know how to implement it. But your advice card is saying stand your ground. Okay, stand your ground, because you've got the Nine of Wands. Now, the Nine of Wands means to be on your guard, and it can mean to be cautious, but it also means that if you've been through a really testing, difficult time, you've got to be in it for the long haul, because it will reap benefits in the long run. But you can't just run away. This guy on the Nine of Wands, he's really been through a difficult time. He's been through a test, which is often when you get this card, the Nine of Wands, it can represent somebody's going... If somebody was to say to me in a private reading, will I pass my, degree, or will I pass my exam? And this card comes up, it might say, well, there's another test that you've got to go through. Or you've got to go through something else again. You might have to do a resit or something like that, because it's the card of the test, so it says that you have to still hang in there. You have to still persevere. So I feel that in the month of August 2016, Aries, that if you are going through a very testing time, and I feel that there is a testing time, which is why you're worrying, because I feel that you're filled with ideas and new things that you want to kind of go for. There's a suggestion to me for ideas that are kind of in the realm of being very young at the moment. They're not quite tested as yet. There's something that you want to do that you haven't really done as yet. And I feel that you are really kind of battling with yourself over it. I feel that you're having a hard time making a decision, because the Page of Swords often represents standing up for the truth. So you'll often find this card as well when it's in a reading, when it says to you, you need to stand up for what you believe in. Okay, no matter how difficult it is, you really need to stand up for the truth, because that's what the swords are. Swords cut through. If you go for an operation, what is it that a surgeon uses? It uses a sharp blade, a knife. It doesn't use a sword, obviously, but a knife. Okay, any sharp instrument that can cut through flesh or whatever. And the sword is no difficult. It's used in battle. Okay, and this person is ready to wage war. So, in other words, I'm ready to stand up for what I believe in. When you get a war, you get opposing sides, and both opposing sides have their own set of beliefs on an idea. And they both go to war because they believe in their own truth. And this is the card of believing in your own truth, standing in your own truth. But I feel that for some of you guys, you might be worried to stand in your own truth. You might be worried about offending someone. You might be worried about being out of a group. For example, you might be worried about, and I can kind of see that in the reading as well. I feel that you're worried about more than anything. You could be worried over some difficult communication that you might have to kind of give across, you might have to express. You could be worried over news coming in. But I feel more than anything, you're worried about, just looking at how the reading is underneath, you're worried about standing in your own truth and being open and honest. And I feel that you're worried about that, Aries, but that's not likely, because to me, Aries people, a lot of the time can be born leaders. You're represented by the Emperor. The Emperor is your major arcana card, and what he says goes. So I don't know why you're so worried over this, okay? But you are worried. It's either about saying something, striking out maybe on your own, striking out on a new project on your own, maybe because you don't know enough yet, maybe because you haven't done it yet, maybe because you feel like a novice. But the Nine of Wands is saying, hold in there, okay? If you have a certain set of beliefs, there is no need to crumble, and there is no need to run underneath a rock. And there is no need to hide yourself away. You've got to stand by what you believe in, okay? You've been through a testing time, but it will get better for you. The first cards to show were interesting when I pulled the two cards at the top. And it was the Wheel of Fortune and the Three of Cups. Now, these cards together, you would imagine that you would be having a very good change in events, or something really good that suddenly appears. Wheel of Fortune can sometimes mean an unexpected stream of good luck. Okay, but I feel that if I were to put these as keywords, it can mean changes. Wheel of Fortune can mean changes as a keyword, and Three of Cups in friendships. Okay, so for some of you guys, yeah, it could be a windfall that you get in, for example. Maybe some of you guys are worried about the bills, or you're worried about getting difficult correspondences in with that Page of Swords and the Nine of Wands. So for some of you guys, it might be that you're worried about the bills. But the Wheel of Fortune always says that, if you've been going through a really struggling, testing time, what this card is saying to you is things are about to get better, because you're probably going to come into a very fortunate change within your life, Aries. And with the Three of Cups, it's a card of celebration. Okay, so for some of you guys, if you are worrying over the bills, if you're worrying over difficult, receiving communication in the month of August, pertaining maybe to bills, pertaining maybe to things that you owe, that type of thing, just know that it's going to work out fine, because you've got the Wheel of Fortune and Three of Cups here. And Three of Cups always reminds me of people clinking glasses in celebration. They're happy about a particular thing that's happened. And that Wheel of Fortune means changing cycles. Okay, it can mean windfalls. It can mean an unexpected run of good luck that comes to you. Wheel of Fortune usually goes in your favour, but I've also seen this card not go in someone's favour. I also seen it, for example, I've done a reading and it's come out as Nine of Cups and Wheel of Fortune, which means there was a change in this person's fortunes financially. But it didn't happen for a long time. The change in their fortunes only ran for about 2 weeks. But it depends how you get it. To me, if you get something like the Ten of Pentacles and then the Wheel of Fortune, to me that says it's a change in your fortunes. So Ten of Pentacles, you might be experience a really good run of luck concerning finances. You might be doing really well in your business. You might be doing really well financially, but then you get that Wheel of Fortune afterwards, and it doesn't have to be in the reverse either. And that Wheel of Fortune can mean, well, Ten of Pentacles, you're doing really well financially, but the Wheel of Fortune after that would suggest expect a change, which can be that things might be a little bit shaky for a while. But we've got the Wheel of Fortune before the Three of Cups. Now, to me, looking at the reading, yes, it can be a change in fortunes, especially if you're worrying over news, and there's a lot of celebration. So it might be a lucky windfall for some of you guys. Might be Aries. But on the same hand, if I were to look at this card as being a change in fortunes, or a change coming in, unexpected change, it could be on friendships, because the Three of Cups represents friendships, and it represents group activities, and it represents a sense of camaraderie and a sense of togetherness. Okay, so there could be, for me, and even though you'd probably think, well, shouldn't Three of Cups be first, friendships, then Wheel of Fortune, change. But what I'm looking at here is a card facing the Three of Cups, and it's the Two of Wands. So we've got the Wheel of Fortune here. Then we've got the Three of Cups. See if we can, yeah. Then we've got the Three of Cups, and then we've got the Two of Wands. Now, if you look there, look at what's happening here. Remember, I deal in tarot interaction, so I always look at where the cards are facing, which I think is very important, okay, to see what's going on. Now, the Wands are based on work, creativity. So when you get, sorry, the Wands here, where are we? The Wands here. So when you get Wands, it is the intention to build on a particular idea. With the Two of Wands, what I always notice with this card is that this guy has one wand seated on a pillar, as if he's ready to take this wand into action. He's ready to take it into the world. And we've got one wand, but if you look closely at that wand behind him, it's bolted. Why is this card? He's not taking both of them. This guy has made a choice, as far as I'm concerned, with that Two of Wands. And he's made a choice to take one wand into action, because the wands also represent actions that we take. So he's decided to take one idea out into the world. That's what he's decided to do. The wand that is bolted, as far as I'm concerned, look at that, it's bolted. Can you see where it's bolted here? The one wand is in reserve, okay? So he's got one thing that he's going to take out into the world, and he's leaving one thing as a reserve idea, okay? Just in case that thing doesn't work. So he's taken an idea out into the world. He's decided to take, he's made a choice on something, and he's decided to take the one thing out there. Now, where does it face? He's making an offer. When you get a card like this, where somebody's holding their hand out, usually this card represents somebody makes an offer on something, or they're trying to present something. To me, he's presenting this idea to these three ladies here. The Three of Cups. Okay, so to me, this represents in the month of August, potentially, Aries, that you have an idea that you're wanting to present, maybe to a group of people. Okay, so maybe your luck changes. Maybe there is an idea here. There is the potential with that Page of Swords for you to actually make a difference and to present maybe some form of new, youthful idea that you've got that you want to kind of strike on, you want to take action on. Because swords also represent actions as well. And you're worrying over it. Okay, but you need to be brave, which is what the advice card is, I feel, to some extent with the Nine of Wands. There is a certain courageousness and confidence that you need to do this. Now, if you notice with the Three of Cups, Three of Cups is three people celebrating. So these might be friends of yours, okay? A group of friends. And I feel that you've been working on something here with this Page of Swords and the Nine of Wands. All right, I feel it's something that you've got to say, and I think this is why I feel the general energy is that there is some very strong truth that you need to express, orate, deliver to a certain group of people, and you're worried about it. But I feel that these are people that you know, and I feel that the Wheel of Fortune is here to say there are changes coming in regarding friendships. Because I feel for some of you guys, whilst you're on one level in the month of August, the people that you're dealing with aren't going to be on your level. Now, it could be as simple as you've got an idea that you want to develop, i.e., see that one there, that's your Ace of Wands. So when you get the Ace of Wands, it's the suddenly epiphany, the light bulb moment going on of an idea, okay? Now it's the idea here that this guy is holding, and he's wanting to take it out into the world and see if it can be developed. And I feel that because we've got the Three of Cups here, usually in business you get the celebration. This is a celebration card of a victory or something that has been successful, if this was to be related to business, for example, within the tarot. But you wouldn't necessarily get in this, not unless it was maybe a business lunch or, you know, a business lunch that was mixed with some sort of leisure, I feel, with the Three of Cups. This is more a card of enjoyment and emotional excitement and emotional bonding and people that know each other and friendships and communication, but lovely communication. It's not too serious. It's kind of like a party type of vibe. I feel that these are kind of people that aren't serious about what you want to do. And I feel that you're trying to almost make people see something. Maybe a group of friends. Maybe you've got an idea and you're saying, you know what, I thought we were going to work on this together. And they're more like, yeah, we'll work on it tomorrow. Or we'll work on it next week or next month or in a couple of months. We're kind of busy. I just get the impression that you guys are feeling serious about something at the moment, Aries. And there might be a group of people around you who aren't that serious. And these are friends who kind of are more into partying or having a good time, and they're not as serious about you. I feel that you're very serious about your ideas. You're very serious about your future. You're very serious about what it is that you actually want to do as an individual. And I feel that you have, for some of you guys in the month of August, the whole ethos in a way of this reading is, do I continue walking along the same path, maybe with the same people, and it's not giving me any joy? Do I continue doing that, or do I look to another path, and do I kind of decide that I'm going to do things on my own? Because what we're finding is this idea that you are looking to present to these three people or this group of people, well, it leaves you struggling because you've got the Ten of Wands. So it's almost like the presentation of this new idea, or the exploration or developing this new idea with the Two of Wands, it's coming with so much responsibility with the Ten of Wands. Because I feel that you guys might be struggling with something. It might be that people are leaving you to carry the can. Do you see what I mean? They might be leaving you to get on with it. So they're saying, yeah, we're with you. But they're not really they're not really doing their part of the job. They're leaving you to kind of get on with it. And I feel that it's something that you guys might be struggling with, and it might be kind of like, I get the impression with the Ten of Wands, when somebody's really struggling with that card, they get to the point where they say, something's got to give, I've kind of had enough. And also this card can be the card of having enough, because things reach real boiling point with this Nine of Wands. When you get the Nine of Wands, it can mean I'm at the end of my tether. I really, really am, because you can see this guy who's gone through the wars. He's got a band-aid on his head, okay? He's really cautious. He's really suspicious. He's really on his guard. He's had enough. And I feel the advice card is also saying, for some of you guys, you're just going to have enough of a situation. And I feel it's around people who aren't as serious as you are about a particular situation, Aries. Sun, Moon and Rising in the month of August 2016. We also get Justice. Now, the Justice card is the make up your mind card. Because Justice says, when somebody reaches a point of justice, they're actually saying, that's it. I'm done and I'm dusted. There can be legal indications this month with this thing, but I don't feel that this is the case with this card. I feel that this is more to say, you know, you need to achieve, because you're not achieving balance when you've got the Ten of Wands. Okay, for some of you guys, it might be a deadline that you've got to hit with something, and people have just put everything on your shoulders. That you're not receiving, I don't feel, any help here. I really don't feel some of you guys are receiving help in something that you want to implement or something that you are trying to develop or do. Because I feel that these people here, with the Three of Cups, aren't necessarily that committed as you are to a particular way forward, a venture, that type of thing, Aries. And that's why the Wheel of Fortune comes in to say, well, maybe there are going to be changes in a setup, in a group activity that you're involved in a friendship, that type of thing. As I've said, you might be worrying over the bills. Page of Swords, communication, difficult communication. Nine of Swords, worrying over difficult communication, worrying over nasty communication. It could be that with Wheel of Fortune, something great comes in and you're celebrating with that Three of Cups. The Two of Wands, it allows you to start going out into the world and doing the things that you want to do. Ten of Wands, you're nearing the end of any struggles that you've got. The Justice card, everything becomes balanced. You're able to now to look forward. That type of thing. But I feel that if I were to do the reading in terms of, that when you get Justice, it means I'm going to make a big decision here because I need to feel a sense of balance. I'm tired, and I need to feel at ease here. And I can't feel at ease if I'm the only one who's trying to present or trying to show somebody the way or trying to show them that we have got this great thing that we could do. But if they're not interested in this, what else can I do? Because all they're doing is leaving me to take all the burdens and all the struggles, and I can't do this anymore, okay? And I feel from there you do reach a big, big decision that says, I need to look after number one now. Because this is what Justice is. It's the card of looking after number one. It's card of achieving balance. It's not only the card of receiving some good news or good rewards or receiving what's owed to you. For some of you guys, it could be that you receive what's owed to you. Especially, as I've said, if you are worrying over bills, money, that type of thing. Because Wheel of Fortune and then Justice, Wheel of Fortune is good luck, good news coming in along with that Three of Cups. And also Justice, the receiving of rewards, that type of thing. So for some of you guys, it might be that. But I really feel within my spirit, a lot of this reading is to do with kind of saying, I'm putting myself first in the month of August because there are people who do not have my back and they're not pulling their weight, and I don't feel some people are. So with Justice, with making the big decision, you see that we have this one wand here with the Two of Wands that's in reserve. Okay, so this person decided to take one idea out, to present one idea, to try and develop one idea. But they've left something in the reserve here. Okay, just in case it's a backup plan. Now, the backup plan comes, I feel, Aries, with the Three of Wands. Because when you get a Three of Wands, it means, okay, I started to develop something here with the Two of Wands, but I'm leaving those two wands now behind me because I've done as much as I can do with that. Okay, everything is in balance now with this. Okay, I feel balanced. I feel okay to leave these two ideas alone or leave this idea where it should be. And now I'm holding on to a new idea. So this person, when you get a Three of Wands, it's about looking to the future. It's about expanding your horizons. It's not only a card about waiting for your ships to come in, but it's also a card about saying, you know what, I'm going to be looking for other people. I'm going to be trying to start something afresh now, okay? I've already made a start because we've got the Two of Wands, which suggests the start that's been made. But they're behind you now. And now what you're going to be doing is formulating some new ideas going forward. This can be that for some of you guys, you might be looking at international connections. So you might be looking further than the Three of Cups. Three of Cups always represents to me close connections. But the Three of Wands represents connections that are not close, okay? Because this person is looking outward. They're looking at a time where they can kind of free their spirit, open things up a little bit more. It's much more of an expansive card than the Three of Cups is for me. So I feel from the Three of Cups, you abandon this idea maybe of the people that you're around at the moment, Aries, because it just seems that they've left everything to you and that everything is on your shoulders and that you are not able to carry this load all by yourself. So there's a sense of abandoning this thing and maybe abandoning them through making the big decision with the Justice card, something that benefits you mainly. And now you're looking forward to kind of maybe form other groups, do other things. But you're casting your net wider. From there we get the Queen of Cups, and when you get the Queen of Cups, it means I'm feeling a little bit more at ease now because I've tapped into my intuition and I know that I've done the right thing. I know that I've done the right thing. The Queen of Cups is one of those cards. I'm a Queen of Cups because I'm Scorpio, okay? And whenever she comes up for me, it means that there is a time that I've gone through where I have needed to find new solutions, okay? So if I've ever been through any difficulty in my life, she will show up, because she shows that I've gone really inward to try and find out why something has happened, or to try and get myself into a place where I can empathise or sympathise, or I can kind of relate to a situation or the people around me, whether those people have been friends or adversaries. This card is the one of kind of putting yourself into other people's shoes. So I feel by the end of August and going into September for you guys, it will be a case of that there won't be any hate. There's no hate in this reading, but it's more an understanding that you're starting to come to about the whole situation, the whole setup that says, okay, and you notice with this Queen of Cups, she's got a lid on her emotions. Okay, so she's the only card within the cup suit that has her cup covered. Okay, because to me this suggests that someone is internalizing a lot. Okay, she's not willing to kind of unfold what she feels anymore. I feel that you've said your piece. Okay, I feel that you've just made that decision, and the Justice card can also mean, you know, for me, it's speaking the truth, because the Justice card is based on truth. It's a legal card. It's based on speaking the truth. Okay, speaking your truth, and I feel that you do speak your truth. But after you speak the truth, and after you decide, okay, I'm going to put whatever is in the past to the past, and I'm going to start looking forward now. I feel that a peace comes over you with the Queen of Cups, and there's no anger anymore. It's a closed book, because you understand that this is something that perhaps you need to do alone, or perhaps you just need to find a different group to work with. And from there, the final card shows the Judgment card, which shows release. When you get the Judgment card, it's like with these people, it's like they come up for air. Can you see that? It's not only the card of resurrection, it's not only the card of second chances, though this is a second chance for you now to do something else, or to move on with an idea that you've had and that you're willing to move on with other people. But it's also the card that says, I can finally come up for air. The death state is where they're not breathing. But the life state, which is the people standing up, says, I can finally breathe again. I can finally breathe, because at last I know what my calling is with this trumpet sounding out. So it's a very interesting month for all you Aries people. I do feel that there is something you have to say that you're worried about. I feel that you're worried about standing in your truth, because you've had enough of a situation, possibly with people who aren't getting you, or who are understanding the seriousness or how dedicated you are to something, how dedicated you are to seeing something grow. And I don't feel that they're on the same page as you. And I feel in the end you just say, you know what, I'm struggling with this all on my own, and I've had enough. And Justice really says, I make a decision to just cut ties. Justice is also the card of completion and conclusion. So I feel that you draw this thing to a conclusion, and that allows you with the Three of Wands to go out and look ahead and find people probably who are going to be serious about this situation, or just to kind of think about what your next move's going to be. But it gives you that peace of understanding with the Queen of Cups, and also that release of tension with the Judgment card, which then will allow you to move ahead. And really what this is saying is, with the Page of Swords and Nine of Swords, if you're worried about speaking your truth, if you're worried about implementing new, fresh approaches and ideas because you feel that you just don't have the kahunas, or you just don't know enough yet, if you're worried about any difficult communication that might come in as a result of you needing to kind of make some very big changes towards friendships or anything like that, just know that the universe wants you to stand your ground. It's telling you to hold in there, and it's telling you to persevere. So, and we're going to do now, using again the Angel Answers deck, we're going to do your angel card for the month of August 2016. Universe, Spirit, Angels, what is the advice, please, Angels, you have for Aries, Sun, Moon and Rising signs in the month of August 2016 pertaining to this reading? What is the advice, Angels, please? Show me what's the advice you have for Aries for the month of August 2016. Show me the advice. Give me the advice that you have for Aries, please. Ask for help from others just trickled off, which is very interesting. And I feel that this is what this is saying is that if you are asking for help from others, and it could be, because I do see you asking for help, or I see some assistance, this Two of Wands facing that Three of Cups. But I also see that you're still struggling here. So perhaps the Three of Wands then is asking for help from others. Okay, so casting your net further afield. This then, Queen of Cups, can be that you're patiently waiting, because the Queen of Cups can be a card about having to have patience, which in turn brings in the help that you need, probably when you least expect it. Okay, so let's have a look what the Ask for Help for Others says. It's not necessary to do everything on your own. Your angels are asking you to reach out to those around you for assistance. By allowing others to lend a hand, you greatly increase your chances for success, and your plans will begin to move forward. The help you receive may also include important information provided by knowledgeable individuals. That's interesting. Page of Swords can also be an advisor. Maybe you're waiting for some news to come in. The stress of doing too much can create both physical and emotional health challenges for you, the Ten of Wands. Surround yourself with loving friends and family who are willing to and able to lighten your load, and you'll begin to feel much better. It's interesting because my reading says that I don't feel that you're receiving the help that you need from these people, the Three of Cups. But I feel that if you're not receiving the help that you need from these Three of Cups, I do feel that the tarot is telling you you need to cast your net wider. If you are receiving this help because of all of the burdens that you have, then maybe your ships are coming in with the Three of Wands. But to my mind, in the month of August 2016, Aries, there is some tension, I feel, around something you need to say, something that you're waiting for, some form of communication. To me, it seems, yes, maybe there is luck from friends and family. Three of Cups, Wheel of Fortune. Something comes in and it's time to celebrate. But also I see, and following just the journey of the cards, I am seeing that you are asking for help. You are presenting some form of an idea to a certain section of people. It doesn't look like they're that much kind of interested to me. But I do feel that you receive help from somewhere else. But it's a matter of being patient, and then it will come. That is your reading for the month of August 2016. Aries, I would like to say thank you very, very much for joining me on Carol's Universe. And next door, if you pop along to your other reading, you should be able to click around it somewhere here, is your life spread reading. So take a look at that. That will show 5 areas for the next 5 months of your life. Okay? See you soon, guys. Take care.